Hello, I'm Jeff Myers, and welcome to Elgin Today. On this edition, a big crowd gathered for Elgin's Halloween treat for the entire area, as the fifth Nightmare on Chicago Street was quite an event for zombies and everyone who attended. And a young crowd got a chance to take a ride in a real fire vehicle as part of Elgin Fire Department's open house at Fire Station Number 2. We'll talk with Fire Chief John Fahey about this day. Paige Rober, event coordinator for the Downtown Neighborhood Association, will tell us about the upcoming Window Wonderland, slated for downtown on Saturday, December 5th. Mayor David Kaptain's segment will focus in on the great success of an Elgin company and their spacious new location. Elgin historically is a city of a great number of volunteers, and we'll talk with Cindy Corrigan, volunteer coordinator for the City of Elgin Parks and Recreation, and she will tell us how you can become a volunteer in many different ways in the City of Elgin. We'll have these stories and more on this edition of Elgin Today. Let's start this show with a look at these three zombies, part of the second annual Zombie 5K Run and Fun Walk to benefit the Elgin Boys and Girls Club. The number of runners from last year for the second year event more than doubled, and it appears that everyone looks to Elgin for their Halloween fun and events. And with that, let's check in with the big event that took place that night. First, let's take a look at just how big the crowd was at Nightmare on Chicago Street on Saturday, October 24th. Can you find some of your friends? Now, from the top of the parking deck on East Chicago Street, let's take a good long look at the crowd that comprised the fifth Nightmare on Chicago Street. Pretty darn impressive. Next, what would it be like if we took our microphone and camera and walked east to west on East Chicago Street during the event? We're just traveling right through. And how you doing, kids? How are you? We're running away. You want to talk, don't you? I can see it. And you are?
George.
Where are you from?
Wonderland.
Wonderland, all the way from Wonderland. Hey!
Hey!
How'd you hear about this event?
Vanessa.
Hi.
Hi. Where are you from?
South Elgin.
All right. Well, you're having a great time, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. And you guys are where you from?
Chicago!
Carol Stream,
Oh, well, how'd you hear about this event?
Facebook. But I was here last year and it was amazing.
How are you? What's your name? You're a real zombie. A real zombie! I got a real zombie! More than one zombie! Two zombies! I got zombies! Where you guys from? Where you from?
We're from Elgin.
And you having a good time?
We're having a blast.
What's your name?
Jaime.
This is a wonderful event for the city of
Oh,
Elgin.
I agree. Everybody comes out, shows their support. Everybody comes out in the great costumes. Can't go wrong.
And you are?
Jeff.
Jeff. What's your costume, Jeff?
I don't know. Rocker?
A Saturday night.
Yeah, that's right. My typical night, yeah.
Good work. Good to have you guys here. You're always outstanding as Mr. Lincoln, as you know, but you also know you as?
This is the Vampire Slayer edition of Lincoln, yes.
It looks great. You're a great costume. Of course, you're John Steffen, City Council member.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Well, tonight we have, this is a great event. Tell me about it.
Oh, it's just great. I just love the creativity, the imagination that goes into putting this on, and then all the work that goes into making this happen. So I'm just here supporting these people. Really glad to be here, getting a lot of photos taken. Hopefully nobody knows who I am.
Yeah, they don't.
And it's a great event. Glad to be here.
Well, you did a wonderful job with that, and the city should be saluted for a wonderful event.
Yeah, so far so good. It's been super, just super. Yep.
There's always great music at Nightmare, and this year there's also some amazing dancing taking place as the crowd was parted at Spring in East Chicago for a kind of fire and dance performance that was well received. Before we leave the story, let's take a look at a couple of the costumes at Nightmare this year. They were all incredible, making Nightmare on Chicago Street the Halloween event for all of Chicagoland. This was a day for all family members, a ride in a real fire vehicle. For the kids, the day was perhaps a preview of their future as a member of the Elgin Fire Department. It was the annual Elgin Fire Department open house at Fire Station Number 2 on Big Timber, the second Saturday in October. A day of fire education for all as well, as we learned from a 10-year Elgin Fire Department veteran on how quick a fire at home can spread.
My name is Ron Sessions, Elgin Fire Department, fire code official in charge of the Fire Prevention Bureau. What we just simulated is a wastebasket fire in a single-family home with a drape in front of it, with the paper and everything else in the garbage can. Cigarettes or cigars or ashes dumped in that can actually start that fire. With the sprinkler system going off, the smoke detector goes off first, and then the sprinkler system will go off because the heat buildup from the fire Unfortunately, the drape will start on fire, but then from there, the sprinkler system should put it out. Yes, once you hear the smoke detector, get out of the house immediately and call 911. This sprinkler trailer is from the Inspectors Association from Illinois, and what they've done is develop 3 of these, and we're fortunate enough to be able to get it for this weekend.
Yeah, we look forward to this every year. It's our annual open house. Bring the public in, let them take a look at the fire equipment that the city's invested in, get to meet our firefighters and see what we actually do for a living. It's a great day. Weather is perfect. We're going to have lots and lots of activities, rides on the fire truck, lots of stuff to do today, Jeff.
Fire Prevention Month, October was, and you really showcase it well.
Well, it is. Across the nation, October is Fire Prevention Month, and for us, the best fire is no fire. So today, not only do we want the kids to have fun, we want to give them some education, let them go home, think about fire safety, so they prevent that fire from ever happening. So it's a twofold thing: have fun, but learn.
We saw the hot box in action where the kids were seeing how quickly a fire can escalate.
Yeah, a fire will double in size every 2 minutes, and we're going to simulate this afternoon a room on fire. And especially today with the new furnishings, Jeff, they're press board, they're built with glues, they burn incredibly fast.
Well, the kids are ready for action. They're all over. Jeremy, take a look. The kids are ready. We're actually in the kid land here right now, Chief.
We are.
And these guys they got to go to a fire quickly, so we got to get out of the way for them, don't we?
That's right. We want these kids to have a little fun today and see what it's like to drive a fire truck. And maybe, just maybe, when they get a little older, they'll decide to become a fireman. Yeah, Jeff, we started an Explorer program here in Elgin because we wanted to give our youth an opportunity to consider this for a profession. And today, if you look at our fire pole here behind us, we got Fire Explorers manning now. We got one on top, one on bottom. Just a little bit about public education, what the fire department does, and these kids do a great job for us, and we think it's going to be a real success for the community. You just would call the fire station or go on our website, the City of Elgin website, and click on the Explorer program, and all the information's on there about what you have to do. And we don't accept anybody. There's lots of rules, and the rules will be on there. You got to have good grades in school. Education is first. You got to have good grades. You got to get parent permission. But it's a program that's really going to be a success on getting the youth in Elgin an opportunity to join the fire department.
We go from this early fall event here at Fire Station number 2 to our next story, which is a preview of the holiday season as we travel to the Downtown Neighborhood Association. And we would talk with Paige Rober, event coordinator for the Downtown Neighborhood Association, about the downtown windows getting a holiday look in December.
On December 5th from 12 to 5 p.m. we have Window Wonderland, and our theme this year is 12 Days of Christmas. We're still celebrating all the other holidays, but we're highlighting each day from the song 12 Days of Christmas. We have Home for the Holidays at Elgin Art Showcase. We have the tree lighting directly after the Window Wonderland at 5 p.m., usual location. So all throughout the day we have carriage rides, we have Santa's reindeer, we have photos with Santa, we have story time with Mrs. Claus, and we have events all throughout downtown Elgin.
And that's the excitement of it. The kids, family, everybody can come right here to downtown Elgin and enjoy the holiday.
Yes, we have fun for the young in heart. And this 12 Days of Christmas is leading up for the 12 months of Christmas in 2016. And next year's Window Wonderland, we hope to break the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest ugly sweater party. Yes, we're really excited about it. We need a full year to get everything together. So if you'd like to volunteer or sponsor this year's Window Wonderland or next, you can contact the DNA at 847-488-1456 or info@downtownelgin.com. Also during Window Wonderland, we will be hosting Letters to Santa and have holiday treats at the DNA office, which is located at 10 North Spring Street in downtown Elgin.
And as Paige mentioned, the City of Elgin's tree lighting ceremony just after 5 p.m. near City Hall is always a spectacular event. And weather permitting, City Skate will be open on that day as well. That's Saturday, December 5th. It's time for our segment with Mayor David Kaptain. Mayor, you've outdone yourself today.
Yeah, we're at someplace unique, and we like to talk about unique businesses in Elgin. And I was at a ribbon cutting out at Packaging Wholesalers about a month ago. It's at the intersection of West Bartlett Road and Gifford Road. And Mike is the CEO and the president of this organization. He's an Elgin resident and brought this company back. He's moved around a lot, and his family lives in Elgin, and Mike lives in Elgin. Mike, introduce yourself and tell us about your family and why you chose to come back to Elgin.
Hi, my name is Mike Herbacek. I'm the owner of the Packaging Wholesalers. Started the company back in 1994. right off of Tollgate Road in Elgin, and since then have moved 7 times because of the growth. Last year we decided to move back into Elgin. We had found the facility here was just under 500,000 square feet. Was a little old and tired. However, we did renovate it. We purchased it for $4 million, and we put $5.7 million into the renovation to what you see here today. We ship all over the country to 43,000 zip codes. There's 300 million different price combinations that run behind the scenes so that we can ship to all of our distributors.
And you're shipping what?
We ship boxes. Mainly 71% of what we sell is boxes and packaging materials. So tape, stretch film, steel strapping, anything you need to ship your product from point A to point B.
That's great. That's good in all markets,
And
isn't it?
you're one of the second largest in the country. Is that correct? Or one of the top in the country doing this type of thing?
We're one of 2 wholesalers in the country, but we're unique because of our customer service. You call our office, you get an answer within 2 rings.
Great.
And the reason I chose Mike as one of the unique companies in Elgin, one of the unique businesses, is because he renovated an old building. This goes back probably to the 1960s and 70s.
The building was built in '67. There was an addition put on it in 1988. What you see here today is just under 500,000 square feet.
Big building. It was the old Sherwin-Williams building. They manufactured paint cans and things like that. We're taken over by Ball Company, the people that make the fruit jars, and they did worked out here for a number of years. And then they notified me about year and a half ago, that they were going to leave, and said, "Well, we're closing this down. We're consolidating. Common theme around the country." And I thought, my gosh, here's this big building in Elgin. What are we going to do? Well, Mike stepped up. And I saw this as a place that they could expand. He's going to move one more time, and it's back home. And he came back to Elgin and lived here, and I think that's a reinvestment. And again, he talked about how much money he put back into the building and purchasing the building and the rehab. He did a great job on the outside. I want him to talk about what they did out there to dress up the front of the building and made this building really a showcase down on the far southeast side of Elgin. And I grew up down here, so
You're excited about this.
I am. My heart's down here. I grew up down here, and this is a story. I love to tell stories.
Yes,
I worked for a landscaper back in the early 1970s, and one of the contracts we had was cutting the grass out in front of this building. Yeah. So
Well, you've got that job again.
What goes around comes. Yeah, I was a big grass cutter in my time. I also worked at Bluff City Cemetery, but that's another story altogether. But anyway, that's why this is unique to me, and I think it's a reinvestment in the Elgin community. It's a reinvestment in a building that had, as Mike said, has kind of been used a lot. It's gone almost 50 years, and they honestly didn't put a lot of money back into it. And Mike spent a lot of money here and really going to make this a showplace for the southeast side.
And he really likes the outside, the way it sounds.
Well, the outside turned out very nice. We totally renovated the outside, put a new paint job on it. We put a new parking lot in, new sanitation. We put 31 new dock doors on the south side of the building. So we have a total of 51 dock doors. The building is open 24/5. That's on the west side of the building, so we do receiving all night long, and all our orders ship out during the day.
That's great. We had our cameraman Jeremy Hayes up in the rafters, and he was seeing boxes and a new lighting system as well.
Well, yeah, we put just over $250,000 of new lighting into the facility to try to save on electricity.
Yeah. And this is they don't manufacture anything here. They ship. They bring in things that people use for that they need for packaging, and they put it together and send it out. And the amazing, 51 truck docks is a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a big add-on. Obviously, they expect to ship all over the United States.
And how many area codes, zip codes?
We ship to 43,000 zip codes throughout the United States. There's 300 million different price combinations that run behind the scenes.
That's more letters than you've written.
Yeah, right. And I think one of the really unique things is that I really like from this, talking to Mike and at the ribbon cutting, is when they moved, they did it themselves. They closed down for about a month, is that correct? And they had their own personnel move everything from their former location into Elgin.
Wow. Actually, we kept the both facilities open. We had a 300,000 square foot building in Schaumburg that was open simultaneously to the Elgin facility. We basically had everybody working overtime almost 16, 17 hours a day to get the product over here. It took just over 4 weeks to get it done.
What a dedicated staff you had.
I sure do. The guy that was in charge of that has been
retired immediately.
No, actually he didn't. He's been with me for 17 years.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. That's a great story, Mayor.
And Mike, how many employees do you have here, and how many of them been long term, and how many people live in the area now? You move back and forth, and I know people, they move too. So how many people are from Elgin, and your best estimate?
Right now we have 90 employees at this facility, and we have 40 in our Dallas location. Currently, I think as far as the Elgin employees, I think we're about 40% live in Elgin. The rest of them come from the suburbs surrounding Elgin.
Great. What's our address here?
1717 Gifford Avenue in Elgin, Illinois.
That's great. That's great.
And this is, I think it's just a really nice story to talk about. We always worry, and we just went through a episode in Elgin where Verizon moved.
Yeah.
And the decision was made from California to move their facility to some other community. Didn't involve anything, and nobody asked me, nobody talked to me about it. And it just was the difference in a large corporation, how they deal with their employees and said, hey, we're all packing up. You guys are moving to Schaumburg. Yeah. And Mike brings something different. He brings back the homespun part of our community, and part of what we do in Elgin is give back to the community as a population here. And I think Mike and his family are Elgin residents, and that's what's going to happen here.
Mike, we're almost out of time. Any further thoughts from you?
I'm just happy to be here in Elgin. I thank the mayor for everything that they've done for us. They did help us with the 6B tax incentive, which I got to tell you definitely helped us make the decision to move here. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much.
It's official now. Did you get that?
We're glad that we could help. Yeah, we had a little effort with them, and they are in Cook County when we did got them some tax breaks and got them into this building. And they're going to be here forever. It's a big building for them and should be able to deal with all of their growth.
That's great.
I promise you, it's my last move. This is my home for life.
No more, huh? If I move again, I might be able to find a box.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Well, Mayor, you were giddy. Mike, we appreciate all the hospitality today.
All right. Thank you.
And Mayor, nice job.
Thanks. We'll see you in a month.
Yeah, we're going to look at how I look at our garbage next time.
We're going to be right up the street at the Waste Management Recycle Facility. And talk about that and their impact on our city as well.
Mike, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
1717 Gifford, that's where we're at right here in Elgin. We'll see you next time right here on the Mayor's segment. Our next two stories come from the center of Elgin. The first one, information about you volunteering in the city of Elgin.
I'm Cindy Corrigan, volunteer coordinator for the City of Elgin Parks and Recreation. We have great volunteer opportunities coming up. All new volunteers need to attend orientation, sign a waiver, and have a background check. We are looking for volunteers at after school at Eastside Recreation Center, Prairie View, and Country Trails. Those people help the teachers in the after school program from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday following the school calendar. We also have volunteers at Hawthorne Hill Nature Center who greet visitors, and that is from 10 to 4 on Friday and Saturdays. Hawthorne Hill Nature Center is solely volunteer run, and they always need more greeters. Also, once a month at Hawthorne Hill Nature Center, there are outdoor volunteer work days. Those are on the third Saturday of the month from 9 to noon.
The volunteer orientation dates that Cindy talked about are Thursday, November 12th, Thursday, January 14th of 2016, and Thursday, February 11th of next year. That's at 7 o'clock at the center of Elgin's West Conference Room. You can RSVP to Cindy Corrigan, volunteer coordinator, at 847-931-6770 or at Corrigan_C@cityofElgin.org. Also, you can find information on Facebook. Volunteer at City of Elgin's Parks and Recreation. Next at the center, Jan Monell, who's the early childhood supervisor of the center, has a December holiday event for the entire family.
Saturday, December 5th, here at the center and in our ceramic studio, we're going to have our annual ceramic holiday pick and paint open house event. And what that means is between 9:30 and 12:30 on Saturday, December 5th, families can come and pick out and purchase varying types of projects we've already made for them, and they get to glaze them. We will fire them for that cost of that project, and then they'll be able to pick them up in about a week and take them home. So some of the examples of projects they'll be able to buy that day will be ornaments like we have here. They'll be able to personalize maybe Santa plates, mugs, bowls, cups, So they have a lot of variety of ceramic projects to purchase, and then we'll assist them in how to properly glaze their projects. They'll get a tour of our ceramic studio in hopes of them coming back and signing up for family ceramics, youth classes, that sort of thing. It's 9:30 until 12:30. In the morning. There's no pre-registration. It's an open house concept. So basically they can come in any time during that time. We'll help them, assist them in picking out a project, explain, give them instructions on how to glaze and paint, and then they're on their own.
If they want to get involved in future classes, how would they register for that?
They can register online through the centerofelgin.org website. Our brochure is there. You can download it. Look through the fine arts section. That's where all our ceramic classes are offered through.
You've done this previous years. You've always had great crowds.
Oh yes, we usually have between 75 to 90 people that come. So come early, get a place at the table, and you'll be able to stay as long as you want and get as creative as you want in your painting.
We're here with our head professional, golf-wise, at Highlands. And Jim Bolt, you're coming off a wonderful double weekend as we talked with you in November, but it was a great September, October for the 100th annual Elgin Open. It was fun, wasn't it?
Absolutely was. I'm very excited, very honored to be part of such a wonderful tradition of golf here in Elgin. And 100 years, there's a lot of great tradition and a lot of great champions.
With the tradition you talked about, you paid homage to all the courses, didn't you?
We did, especially Wing Park. Wing Park was where the event started. It was played there until 1971, and then it moved over to Spartan Meadows. And then for the last 13 years, it's been played here at the Highlands.
And you worked Highlands, and then you went to Bowes and do one to wrap it up.
And this year we decided it was very fitting, with it being the 100th annual event, to play at all three of the city-owned golf courses. So the first round was played at Wing Park, the second round was played at the Highlands, and then the third and fourth round were played at Bowes Creek.
First weekend, the weather was wonderful. It was kind of chilly at Bowes, wasn't it?
It was a challenging weekend. Windy and cool. So players who hit the ball very high may have struggled a little bit, but yeah, it was very November-like for weather.
It was.
Yes.
We were there with you, and we were rugged golfers on that day, or watchers anyway.
Well, we tried. We tried for sure.
The format a little different this year.
Yeah,
as far as number of holes. And
yeah, this year with the numbers declining slightly in the past, we decided that we were going to go back to a qualifying type of a format. When I started here 20 years ago, it was 72 holes. It was over 2 weekends. Everything was flighted. This year, what we decided to do is play our first round at Wing Park, the second round at the Highlands, and then we were going to use those as the qualifying scores to flight the golfers, and they played amongst their flights for the final weekend.
That's great. Let's talk about the guys who came out on top.
Well, we did have a dedicated super senior division this year, and that was won by Denny Scott of Algonquin. Our A flight, third place was won by Jeff Allison. Second place was won by Rich DiBartolo, and then our A flight champion was Jim Dnowski. And in the championship flight, third place was won by Bruce Orns, second place by Jonathan Hunter, and then the eventual champion was Tom Ferguson of Batavia.
Well, congratulations to all of them. Some folks couldn't make the commitment of both weekends, could they?
That's some of the feedback that we've received. It was a challenge for us. We were facing declining numbers over the years. I know that when we switched from 72 holes to 36 holes, there was a lot of negative feedback. So Mike Lehman, our director of golf, and I decided that, hey, let's try to change it up this year, and let's try to get some interest, and let's try to play all three golf courses. And then some of the feedback that we're getting now is that a lot of people that may have used to been able to play 72 holes 2 weekends in a row now can't.
Yeah, well, the folks we saw though seemed to enjoy it, and it's great to be out there.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody that I spoke with seemed very pleased with the golf courses, aside from their scores and the weather conditions. But I think everybody truly enjoyed the golf course, and I think it was a success, even though the numbers were relatively low.
Well said. Congratulations on that. We're at Highlands right now. It's beautiful. Even on a cloudy day, it's beautiful here.
Oh, absolutely. Every day at the golf course.
We could golf 365 days a year if we could.
No, we would. Yes, you might, but I know I wouldn't.
Well, there's some indoor fun we might have. Well, Jim, congratulations. You do a great job here.
Thank you very much. Also, I'd like to acknowledge our main sponsor, Lamp Incorporated, an Elgin-based construction company. They were our main sponsor. I'd also like to thank Greg Shannon from the Grumpy Goat and Joe Carlucci from Porter's Pub for their generous contributions to the event as well.
Those are great folks. It's a great spectacle for the city of Elgin.
Absolutely. It's something that I look forward to every year. I think a lot of our golfers do as well, and I can't wait for next year.
All right. That's our wrap-up of the Elgin Open right here from Highlands. The date, October 20th. The site, the center of Elgin and the Heritage Ballroom. Those in attendance were here on a very important mission with more information to come out in the next few weeks, as Mayor David Kaptain tells us what this day was all about.
Jeff, we had a summit for human services in the city of Elgin, and we sent out invitations to almost everybody within our community, including volunteers, CEOs, board members, funders, to come and talk about the issues facing human services in the city of Elgin. And it started out by talking about some things that we have issues with the city of Elgin. We're not receiving our riverboat money, so we're looking at cutting grants to the human services. Many of them have not received funding from the state of Illinois since July 1st. So there are many of us are in some jeopardy here and whether they can stay in business. So we wanted to have a meeting to talk about what we can do in the future, how we can try to get past this bump in the road for them. And we had about 150 to 175 people show up today to have that discussion. I think it was productive. We talked a lot about things that we can do in the future. We talked about some funding options. We're looking at maybe doing something with a central office type of thing for human services, where they could have one person being a human resources person for 2 or 3 different organizations and combine efforts, work together to solve a common problem for our entire community. Why is the city of Elgin involved? We have concerns that our most at-risk people will be left adrift. And we need to really try to do something here to make sure that human services is extended to people that have learning disabilities, maybe they have addiction issues, or they have some mental issues. We want to make sure they get the services that they need.
This was the 33rd annual Crop Hunger Walk on Sunday, October 18th. The weather cooperated very well, thank you, and the crowd gathered at the Robert Gilliam Municipal Complex. We got a chance to talk with one of the event organizers, Laura Balt, and got a bit of the history of the day.
We do this every October to raise funds for local hunger organizations. Food for Greater Elgin, All People's Food Pantry, the food pantry at Central de Información, as well as our 7-day soup kettles. Our honorary chair this year is Police Chief Jeff Swoboda, and we're really excited to have him. And this is a true community event, so we really appreciate his help in getting the word out that we're walking today.
I'm actually proud to say this is my first year, but it won't be my last. What a great turnout, and to hear all the different organizations that are here supporting this, it's great. And not just the police department, but the entire city recognizes that we can't have a safe community when we still have people out there who are hungry. And so if you can't have those very basic needs met there, you're not going to make rational choices in other areas of your life. So I'm very proud to be a part of this crop walk. Let's kick it off. What a great day for it. So thank everyone for coming out today.
It's Friday, October 16th, the 54th varsity meeting for the football squads of Elgin and Larkin High School. There was a great crowd on both sides, and a couple of late touchdowns by the Royals made them come away with a victory of 27-13. The touchdown that gave the Royals the lead for good, a 4th and 2 situation as quarterback David Hitler hit Keon Adams for the touchdown with 4:46 remaining in the regulation, and the celebration began. Again, the Royals would score another touchdown and win by a final tally of 27-13, ending Larkin's 20-game losing streak and also returning the town jug to Larkin after a 1-year absence. And a quick reminder, 5 new members of the Elgin Sports Hall of Fame will be inducted on November 7th with ceremonies at the center of Elgin, and we'll recap that night for you next month right here on Elgin Today. You can learn more about the information you saw here on Elgin Today or about city services, programs, and events by going to the Elgin website at www.cityofelgin.org. And now the City of Elgin has a 311 contact center. Elgin 311. Call, click, connect by calling 311, the city's information and request resource. For everyone here at Elgin Today, I'm Jeff Myers. We'll see you next time.